Okay. Okay. So, come back. So, as you saw in the video, okay, Tope. Open the mic or write in the chat.
Beautiful presentation. The flipped classroom, it's a beautiful concept. However, there is certain issues there.
Hey, yes. Why? Which issues, in your opinion? Because the next step of the lesson will be a discussion about about the possible criticism of the flipped classroom. Tope,
Okay,
tell
maybe
me which
let me wait till that time.
no. We please share with your colleagues
No, because
which could be criticism in your opinion.
okay. Now, it's a very beautiful thing because it actually places the learning efforts away from the students. I'm sorry, away from the teacher to the student. So the students are the active learner, they are the protagonists of the learning process. However, they raise the issue that those who are better accompanied, maybe by expensive teachers or by siblings in the house or by friends, they are at a greater advantage than those who don't, even though they watch the videos at their own pace.
Yes, and this is one of the criticism, but there are also other criticism. Thank you, Tope. I really agree with you. Of course, every approach, everything I propose has got positive things, potential, but has also got criticism. In the case of flipped classroom, one of the criticism is what Tope has just said. So maybe Mabel have something to say. Mabel, raise the hand. Mabel, if you are not able to talk, please.
Yeah, hello. Yeah,
Hi,
yeah,
hi,
Marco.
hi.
Yeah,
Good
I was
afternoon.
trying to. Hello, hello.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Yeah, yeah, Marco. Yeah, I was trying to ask. From the presentation, does it mean that in the typical classroom, the teacher becomes the center of the lesson?
Yeah, I don't
Oh,
hear
okay.
you. Sorry, I
I'm
don't
sorry.
hear you.
Hello.
Hello, Mabel. Can you repeat, please?
Yeah, I was asking. In the typical classroom, does it mean that the teacher becomes the center of the lesson? Please,
In the
you get it
I
now?
I don't understand your question. You are asking me if in a typical classroom the teacher is at the center of the lesson?
Yeah, that's the question. Yeah, yes.
Okay. In a classic typical lecture, the teacher explain, the teacher talk, and the students hear and write or take notes or something like this. Okay. And so we can say that yes, maybe the teacher is at the center of the lesson. And in the class, with the approach of flipped classroom, but not only with this approach, the center is not the teacher, but the center is the student activities. Okay. So this is why they call flipped classroom. But please don't take this definition as totally literally. but something like a suggestion, something like an inspiration for your. We need to simplify the definition in order to understand, in order to yes, in order to understand concepts. But yes, so this is the thing. The teacher, in the case of flipped classroom, is not at the center of at the lesson when he is in the classroom, but is something like a facilitator, like a tutor. Okay, have a little bit different role than the role that he have in a classic lecture. Okay. So maybe we go on, and this concept could rise up better. For which regard the criticism of this approach, we will see other criticism, and is always important when we implement a teaching method and also educational technology, to always consider the potential, but also the criticism. Okay, we cannot think that a methodology that we use has no criticism. Okay, there is always criticism, and there is, in the most part of cases, potential. Okay, so which are the key features? The key features of the flipped classroom. So which are the potential? Which are, or even better, why we have to, why we could choose a flipped classroom method? Okay, which are the benefits for students and for learning processes of students? Here we have a list. So with the flipped classroom approach, we promote active learning of students. So we can, in this way, the students are not passive to knowledge, but they work actively on contents during the classroom activities. Another feature is there is an individualized piece, so it means that every student could approach the knowledge and the materials using his own rhythm and learning style. Okay. But also he can better express his peculiarities during classroom activities, because if we structure, for example, a group, a work group, each student can cover the role which better every student can cover the better role for him, for each student. I don't know if that's okay, but I hope you understood. So another key feature is that the teacher is not the role of the teacher is a facilitator role, not so it's not the front face-to-face lecturer, but he, for example, passes for the through the group who are working in the classroom, and help the groups and the students in the activities. Another so For real, there are teachers have two important roles. He is a facilitator, of course, but or he always sorry he also have the responsibility to design the lessons, prepare the materials, or find or search or the materials which the student had to study alone at home. Okay, and he have and so he have to manage all the process which imply the work at home and the work in the classroom. So other key features is the flipped classroom is really good for peer collaboration because the activities which we can do with flipped classroom are really match with the collaborative learning, because we can organize, for example, group activities. Another feature is immediate feedback, because during the lesson we can share with the students our opinion and our indication while they are working directly during the activity. Moreover, it is time efficacy. This is not really true, in my opinion, but could be for several aspects time efficacy, because we don't use in the way that we don't use the time of the time when the teacher is with the student for the lectures, but we use this time for use the knowledge acquired before at home. Okay, in this sense, there is time efficiency. Of course, if students have not the possibility to study at home, or have not accessibility to technology, etc., there is no efficacy. Okay. Another feature is the flexibility. Okay, because students can use his time at home to study, but he can also better employ the time during the lessons. And the accessibility could be key features of flipped classroom, but always in the cases where the educational technologies and the technologies, the internet, the ICT, the internet connection technologies, the communication technologies are available on the territory, and are also economically accessible. But of course, if there are situations where when there is no accessibility to technology, there is no accessibility at all. Before go on, I would like to underline another thing, that we are talking about flipped classroom as an innovative approach, because we are talking about it because we are talking about we are using educational technology to do flipped classroom. But if you think, if you reflect, this approach doesn't. But if you reflect, the use of educational technologies is not mandatory for this approach because we can deliver materials in paper form or with books and other kind of material to the students that they can use at home, and we can do the activities in the classroom anyway. Okay. Of course, in flipped classroom educational technology version, these materials are mainly video of lecturers, okay, or lectures. For example, to make in order to make an easy example, the teacher can record a lesson, okay, with their phone, with his phone, with his PC, like I'm doing now, for example, and deliver this lesson to the students. The students, instead of hear and see the teacher in the classroom, they can hear and see the teacher at home using their devices. Okay. Uh, and they can stop the video, go on when they want. This approach is flexible. It's also in this way. Okay. Okay. So, why use the flipped classroom? In which cases is a good idea to use a flipped classroom? Students can proceed at their own pace. Okay, we already talked about this, and this is only the case of the features of the video, for example. Instead of hear the teacher in the classroom and follow the flow of the teacher. Instead of this, they sorry, I think I lost the connection another time. Give me 1 sec to try solve this. I don't know if I'm back again. Am I back again?
Yes, yes. Yeah, I can hear you.
Thank you. I don't know what is happening today. Okay, we were talking about accessibility, right? If we have a bad connection, we could have accessibility problems. Okay. Go on, let's go on. I don't remember what we were saying. We were talking about accessibility. We were talking about that the student can proceed at their own pace when For example, they watch the videos of students. Okay, sorry, the the lesson, teachers, the teacher's lesson. Okay, let's go on. So doing homework, another reason to use flipped classroom, following the indication of the several authors, is that doing homework in the classroom gives the teacher an exact sense of students' difficulties and different learning styles. And this is a really good future, really, really good reason to use the flipped classroom, because we can see students in action. If we use lesson only to talk, only to the lecture, without looking the students doing homework, doing exercises. We cannot have an idea of the way uh, they implement the knowledge of the lectures. Because the only moment when we see them in action is maybe during exams, during oral evaluation, for example, while they do exercising on the board during evaluation. And this is a risk, in my opinion, because as we said at the beginning of the lessons, we have to put at the center of our attention the student. Okay, student and his peculiarities and his needs. So inverting, flipping the activities, so doing exercise at school and sharing video lessons at home, we have the chance to better monitor students. Okay. Another reason is that the teachers can adapt and update the curriculum and provide it to students 24 hours and a day, 7 days a week. This is according to the authors, and I don't agree with this feature because a teacher, to be a good teacher, cannot be involved in his work 24 hours per day, but he have to separate working life with personal life as anybody, as everybody. Okay, so of course the teacher can access to the activities of student and materials also while he is at home, maybe with the support of an LMS or also other technologies. But this is not always a good thing, okay? Because also teacher needs resources, okay? Intellectual resources, and we cannot think that we can be always online, always connected with our students. Okay, please take your time, because a tired teacher is not an efficient teacher. But anyway, this is only my opinion, but I am here always to also to give you my opinion. I don't know what is happening. Why the slides are going on. Sorry, a moment. Sorry, a moment. Coming back. Okay. There is something that doesn't work. Sorry. Maybe I found the problem. Okay, maybe we are. Okay. Another reason in the list is that students can benefit from the expertise and teaching style of multiple teachers in the same discipline. This is right. This is right in the case we organize an activity which imply the study of more than one subject, as we said during the last lesson. Okay, and we can use the flipped classroom to adopt all the methods we already studied together. Moreover, another reason is that teachers improve their professionalism by watching videos of colleagues and learning from each other. Okay, because if we share the videos, the videos of our lessons with our colleagues, or if we do teaching activities together with our colleagues of other disciplines, our teacher skills grow up. The better way to grow up teacher skills is to share knowledge, share practices, share activities with his colleagues, with her colleagues. Okay, remember this, please, because the better training for teachers is to share experiences. I'm who I'm really sorry. For example, I'm really sorry because we are not together in a room, because it's really difficult to share experiences through the medium of Google Meet, for example, of the distance learning. I think this course could be really better if we are in the same room. Okay, but anyway, we can do the best as we can anyway. Another point is that the classroom time can be used more effectively and creatively than traditional pattern. Okay, so here we are with the limits, with the criticism. Okay, first is that the student can proceed. Sorry, this is an error. Okay. So the first is the cost, because if we want to implement a flipped classroom, it is really expensive. It is really expensive because we need the educational technologies, which have a cost. We need the internet connection, which has a cost, and you need the infrastructures, and we need more time. If we are teacher, we need more time because we need to do the following things. We have to prepare and record the video lesson, for example. We have to design the classroom activities, and we have to facilitate the classroom activities. So we have three tasks instead of two or one of the classic lesson. Okay. In my opinion, we can use flipped classroom in the case we have all the condition to do it, but we can use it not every time, maybe sometimes during a school year, okay? In order to break the routine of the students, to break the routine of teaching activities. Okay, so another limit is the complexity of design. So we need a lot of energies to use it. We need an efficiency and technological accessibility, as we already said. The effectiveness of this approach is yet unproven. Okay, so we think it could be good, but we are not sure because research is not sure that is better than a classic lesson, and is better than a classic lesson. And another limit is that it starts from a simplified conception of the traditional approach. If you read the publications, books, papers, and or there are a lot of websites which talk about flipped classroom, or for example, the video I showed you before, okay, the presentation I showed before. People who write or who present presents the flipped classroom as an innovative methods which totally contrast the bad traditional approach. Okay, and this is not totally true, because also traditional approach could be a good approach if we are able to do a good teaching design, if we are able to use it in the right way. Okay, so we cannot solve our problem changing methods. We can solve our problems being good teachers. Okay, so now I propose you to do a 10-minute break. When we will come back, we will have a brief sharing of your view about the classroom. So let's see in 10 minutes.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, welcome back.
Yeah, welcome.
So please, would you like to share your view about the flipped classroom? So somebody had ever heard about it before, or think that flipped classroom have any features in common with the activities he or her already do with their student. Somebody can open the mic and talk, or write something in the chat, please. Someone would like to share with colleagues? Please open the mic if you want. I know you are, and we are tired, but we have this chance to share our knowledge. It's better if we use this chance. You can also write something in the chat if you like, if you don't want to talk.
Hello, Marco.
Hello, Anthony.
Yes. So I just got back. So you're asking if I've ever heard of the flipped classroom, right?
Can you repeat, please?
Okay.
If you,
Can
I
you?
assume you already had a flipped classroom experience.
Okay. So
Oh,
actually this is in this training that I got to hear of the flipped classroom for the first time actually. But in practice, this is what I ordinarily do. So for my laboratory sessions, so what I do is that I send them the manuals for the lab 2 days before the lab and ask them to go through it and ask me any questions. So that's with that, when they come to the class on to the lab on the day of the experiment, it's easier for me to um, manage them and they because they already understand some things on what we want to do and where what we want to achieve in the lab. So this helps me to manage the lab better. So in principle, is what I do ordinarily, but I am not the name flipped classroom. I'm just hearing for the first time actually. So
thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Anthony. I totally agree with you. So you are already using flipped classroom. The flipped classroom is an approach which have ever been employed in vocational education and in laboratories. Okay. Before I show you, I also told you that the authors called it innovative, but it's not totally innovative because it's not innovative for vocational education, for example, for who use who who teach practical subjects like you, I think. Can you remember what is your subject? What your laboratory is about? Is something mechanic? I don't remember.
It's about electrical and electronics.
Okay, electrical electronics. Amazing.
Yeah.
The point is that you have to teach something practical. Okay, there is a part of theoretical study, manualistic study, and something practice. So the part of knowledge acquirement is uh, is is done by the student by themselves. In your case, if I well understood, maybe you can help them to better understand what they are studying, but most part of the study is done individually. This is right. And
Yes.
the real learning process is during practice, while they implement what they studied. Okay. And thank you, really thank you, Anthony, for your contribution, because it's really important also to understand that maybe someone propose us new methods, but maybe they could propose us only new labels for new labels, but it could be that we already used um, these methodologies. I really thank you, Anthony. Maybe somebody else already use the flipped classroom or some features of the flipped classroom, like Anthony showed us. Okay, Anthony, can I give you another question a moment?
Okay, no problem.
While the students are in the lab during practical activities, does they work in group or individually?
So they work in group mostly,
Okay,
but
okay,
what I try to do is to have groups of very small, like and I pay attention to individual persons in the group.
okay. Thank you very much. Really interesting, really interesting. Thank you. Um, if nobody has something to add, we can go on with another topic. Isaac. Isaac, open
Yeah,
the mic.
Professor. Hello.
Hello? Hello, Isaac.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello.
Sorry. Yeah. I have used them this before, but mine is what have to do with the video. But I used to show the video to the students in the classroom before the lesson begins. Can you also classify this as the flipped classroom, sir?
Why not? Is
Okay.
is not the it is not the model as I described you, but is something similar. You use yes, yes. We could consider also this like flipped classroom. But remember that we are not here to classify models, but only to inspire, to have new ideas for didactics. So yes, we can consider it flipped classroom, and it's interesting to say this, but this is not the center of our attention. The center of our attention
Okay.
is have new ideas. Okay, so thank
Okay.
you very
Thank you,
much,
sir.
Zach. Thank you very much. Um, Mabel.
Yeah, Marcus. I just want to know if, for instance, the environment you find yourself is not having some of the facilities we are talking about, some of the like the places in the remote areas where there are no electricity, and then um, materials we are talking about, if they don't have those items, what are you going to do, I mean, to make the classroom um, an interesting one, or how would you manage such a classroom? Thank you.
This is if there is no electricity and no connection or not availability of devices, is is little bit hard to implement this kind of method, but we can do something similar, providing students maybe with the physical teaching materials, for example, manuals, also, like Anthony said before, or maybe papers, material, which students can use at home. But of course, if maybe when they are at school, we have not the facilities or not the environment which allow us to, for example, organize groups of students. This is a little bit difficult, of course. Of, we have to use or adapt the methodologies considering our situation, so our infrastructures, our availability of technologies, and for technologies that don't intend only devices and educational technologies, but also school facilities, blackboards, or paper materials, all the things that we have. Of course, maybe if there is these kind of problems, maybe educational technologies could not be the better solution, because of course we need electricity. We need this kind of these devices cannot be used without. But we can keep the model and use it considering we have not device and electricity, using papers, using manuals, books, or something like this. Okay. Thank you, Mabel, for your question. And I think we can go on with the next topic for today, which is collaborative learning. I will go a little bit faster because I know you already talk about this with Maria Grazia, but also because I'm sure that you already uh, already know this method. But so what we intend for collaborative learning? When we talk about collaborative learning, the literature, the academic literature propose us a lot of theoretical perspectives. So before talking about the practical aspects of this method, it's better to look briefly also at this aspect. If we synthesize the literature, we can say that the collaborative learning can influence the achievement of the students in the way of motivational aspect, of social cohesion of the class of the students, on the development of the cognitive elaboration of students, on the load and socio-cultural approaches. Okay, let's go. For which regards the motivational perspective, learners are more likely to help another when they gain the reward based on performance of all group members. So if we want to implement also maybe an inclusive activity, or if we want to design our activity like an inclusive activity, we could consider the collaborative learning because learners can more easily start to help their uh, their colleagues, their peers, because of the reward of the reward base on the performance of all the group members. The effectiveness of cooperative learning is enhanced when a person achievement depends on the achievement of the group members. In this way, we can foster the collaboration of the students. This is really interesting also for the educational part of the school, of school activities. Moreover, the social cohesion perspective show us that team building activities are crucial for collaborative learning because learners help other group members to learn when they care about the group. Okay, and instructors need to promote positive interdependence among group members, but incentives for collaborative learning are not essential in the social cohesion perspective. Okay, what is why I showed you this two different perspectives, because as you can say, in the motivational perspective, the point is the reward-based activities, okay? And in the social cohesion perspective, the incentives are for collaborative learning are not essential, but the point at the center of this perspective, there is the preparation of students to take care about of the group. Okay. Moreover, the developmental perspective is a little bit different, because learners are because they say that learners are more likely to help another when they gain a reward based on the performance of all group members. So the effectiveness of cooperative learning is enhanced when a person's achievement depends on the achievement of the group member. So this is a little bit different of the motivational perspective, but we are always in the same field. Other perspective of collaborative learning is the cognitive elaboration perspective. According to cognitive elaboration perspective, collaborative learning is effective when group participants are jointly engaged in making inferences, integrating new knowledge when prior knowledge are repairing. Sorry? Adam, would you like to say something?
I think he mistakenly turned on his microphone. He's not aware of it.
Okay, I close this microphone. Thank you, Tope. Okay, I go on. I was saying we were looking at the different perspective of collaborative learning. We were talking about the cognitive elaboration perspectives. According to this perspective, collaborative learning is effective when group participants are jointly engaged in making inferences, integrating new knowledge with prior knowledge, and repairing faulty knowledge and beliefs. So there are also previous studies of peer interaction which shown that students learn from giving elaborated explanation, critical thinking questions, and meaningful review comments to other group members. And so in this case, we have also evidence-based study that show us that this process happened, and is important to consider it. But at the same time, we have also to always to remember that the students have different learning styles. So this could happen for a group of students, but maybe there are students which for which is not real this process. So it is for which is not good this process. So also in this case, remember that is always better to change to use several methods, to change to use different methods. Okay, another perspective, the cognitive load perspective. According to this perspective, collaborative learning is effective for knowledge construction, where when a cognitive load is distributed among group members, particularly in a complex problem-solving situation. Okay. Moreover, in collaborative learning, however, cognitive load unrelated to knowledge construction may increase due to transactional activities such as managing collaboration processes, coordinating actions, and sharing group resources and tools. So collaborative learning will be beneficial only when the distribution when distribution advantages are larger than disadvantages caused by transactional activities. This means that when we implement the collaborative learning, we have to well distribute the roles to the students. It means that if there is a bad management of the activities inside the group, this approach doesn't work well. So let's see. I think this is the last perspective. Is the sociocultural approach. According to this approach, collaborative learning is to participate in authentic practices of community and make sense of the shared practices. By constantly participating in collaborative activities, a newcomer becomes a community member who can effectively work with other members to achieve a common goal. Okay. From this perspective, it is important to provide an authentic situation in which learners can collaborate. Okay, in the case of, for example, laboratories, we have a meaningful and realistic task or knowledge which have to be implemented, and this involves that the collaborative approach could be the good solution. Okay, good. So we can also talk about inclusive approach because the collaborative approach is also good if we want to, as we said before, if we want to implement an inclusive activity. Okay, why give his or her own contribution based on his or her own abilities and potential, succeeding in achieving in the group a result that individually he or she would not have been able to achieve, thus valuing his own contribution and feeling that he is a prominent actor as an integral part of the group and not as a slowing element. Okay. In the case we have people with special needs, or learning disorders, for example, the collaborative learning is a really good way in order to include him in the activities, because he can be included in a group activity and he can have the right role for his peculiarities. Okay. As you saw, there are several perspectives for collaborative learning, and in which perspective there is a potential, there is something that we can use for our situation, for our needs, for the needs of our students, okay, for our objectives, for our aims, and for the needs of the students, in order to include the whole amount of students sorry, we can include more students as possible in our activities. Okay. Which are the key elements of cooperative learning? The key elements are the goals and the incentives, okay, are the tasks, the groups, the collaboration process, and the assessment. This is really important to remember when we design the activities. Of course, in a school or vet center situation, the incentives will be the good evaluation, for example, but could be also other things, of course. And I think that this could be enough for our for which regard the cooperative learning, also because I think you already know what we are talking about. I think that at the end of this presentation, you have a lot of reason in order to consider to try to implement this approach if in the case you didn't do it already. Okay, in the case you haven't do it already. Okay. Now, now before go on with our lesson, before start talking about how to use our this information to start to construct a lesson plan. I would like to show you, briefly show you how Google Form works, because someone of you asked me writing an email. In order to do this, I can make you an example directly now. We will construct a new Google Form now. Of course, if you want to understand all the functions and the features of this tool, I suggest you to search for a video on YouTube or something else, something like a tutorial. We can briefly explore this instrument anyway. Okay. If we want to use Google Form, we have it's really easy, because we have to go on our Google Drive. So we need, of course, an account or a Google account. And now I'll share with you the screen. Okay. So, for example, this is my Google Drive. Okay. I can go to, when I am logged in Google, I have this button which show me all the Google application. I need to go on Google Drive. Okay, Okay. When in my Google Drive, I need to search for my folder, for the folder when I want to create my Google form, and this is the place where I will find it when I need. So, for example, I go in the my folder, in the folder I use for this course, that is Greenvet folder. Okay. I go in lesson, and here I have lesson 5. Okay, so here I create my new form. So I go here, new, Google form is in Italian, sorry, but this is Google form, empty form. Here I have the new empty form. Okay, so I can write the title of my form. In our case, could be lesson 5 question. No, sorry, lesson 5 task 1. Okay. Maybe I want to use this form to ask you the same question I asked before. So this question, okay? So I take the question, for example, have you ever heard of the flipped classroom? Okay, so this is the first question. I click here and I insert my question. Have you ever heard about flipped classroom? In this case, I can answer with yes or not. And so I have different solutions. Sorry, I repeat this in Italian. I am not able to change in English now because we have no time. But you can understand the type of the answers looking at the icons, because in this case it are full text, a short full text answer, a long full text answer. This is a sub multiple choice. This is a check box for and other options. In this case, for this question, it's better we use the multiple choice. The option 1 will be yes. The option 2 will be no. And maybe if you want, we can add other, but not in our case. We can also say, we can also put turn this question mandatory if we want. Okay, in this case it's not good. Okay, this is the first question. If we need another question, we click on the plus and we insert the second question. Second question is does flipped classroom have many features, blah blah blah. Copy the question, insert the question. Okay, easy, really easy and fast to use. Okay, in this case we want a full text, long full text. Okay, and here we have the space for the long full text answer. Good. We can do another example. We can add another question and insert, for example, do you think that flipped classroom is a good method? Good approach, sorry. A good approach. Here we can Answer yes, no. What could be? Tell me why. Okay. And here we have another question. Now we can, for example, do other things like change the color, change. No, here is this is the preview. Clicking on the eye, we can see the preview of our questionnaire. But before we can also change the color. Here the color, we can choose an image, put here in the header. Okay, personalization features. Okay, good. And this is what we have. And if we want to share this with our students and participants, we have only to click on India. Sorry, on send. And here we have several options to send our form, and we send it by email, for example. And we can send it by email, inserting here the email, or we can copy the link and paste on where we want. This is the link. We also to shorten the link in this way. Okay, as you can see, we have a lot of options. Before go on, Isaac, want to say something or write something? Isaac, if you want, I'm here. Okay, maybe Isaac will talk after. So we were saying, okay, this is, for example, a brief example of how to create a module, a form. After participant answer to my module, to my form, sorry, I can see and manage the answers. Now I will briefly show you how it works. So for example, if I open the module, no, sorry, it's better module of the lesson number 2, which I use with you. And for example, here is the model of individual activities. As you can say, as you can see, here is the question that I can change or fix. But here are the questions, and here are the answers, and there are 13 respondents. Okay, if I click here, I can see all your answers for each question. Okay, here's the full text answer. In the case I need a file which I can better elaborate, for example, in the case of numerical answers, or also in this case, why not? I can also create a spreadsheet of the answers. And if I click on create sheet, I create a new sheet, yes. If I click on create, okay, as you can see, I have a okay. Here row by row, I have all the respondents' contributions, and I can easily work on the answer. For example, if I have a column with a numeric data, I can do calculation on this using the function of the sheet, the spreadsheet. Okay, all for me is really useful, and thank you to ask me to show you because it could be really interesting. Now, also in this case, we have a particular technology which have not been created for educational aims, but for administrative aims, okay? Or for other aims. But we can use it for a lot of things in education. We can imagine and invent a lot of implementation in education of Google Form because we can use it to do a brief survey during the lesson. We can use it to gather information about the students. We can use it to do evaluation. Why not? Because we could, if the students have their devices, we can also create an assessment questionnaire and deliver it to the students. They use it for evaluation. Why not? Of course, in this case, we need to keep attention to block the devices of the students because they could use internet to explore it and find the answer to the question. And this is not good, but why not? We can also use it for evaluation or for a brief, for fast monitoring of the activities. Okay, as you can say that as you can see, I use it every lesson in order to gather your experience and gather your questions after the lessons, and I think it is really useful, and it's really useful for two reasons, and this is good to remember for each technology. The first reason is that it has the features that I need, okay, and not features that I didn't think before. Okay. And the second reason is that it's really easy to use. Okay. If when I use Google Form, I don't need time to understand how it works because and this is good because the teachers have no time to learn how educational technology works, or better, he could use time to do it, but this time need to be really short. Okay, the educational technology or the technology used as educational technology need to be fast to learn for teachers, really fast, because we have no time to we have no time to learn complex software. Okay, this is the case of educational technology, in my opinion. This is really different in the case of the technologies which are the topic of the lessons. For example, I don't know if it's real, but we can imagine if Anthony uses a professional software which electronic, which who works with electronic use for his profession, for his work. This kind of technology, which could be really hard to learn, of course, is we need to learn to use it because is the topic of the lesson. And in this case, is not an educational technology, but is a professional technology. Okay, that's all for Google Form. In the next lesson, we will talk a little bit better about evaluation, and I will show you also other sites, other instruments to deliver assessment and deliver formative evaluation. But I think the Google Form is a really good app to use if you can do it. In general, the most part of the Google applications, the most famous Google applications, are really useful for education, mainly because they are really easy to use, and another important thing that is that we have one account for all the apps, and this is another really good reason to use it. Okay, I suggest to have another 10-minute break, and after we will come back with another with the project work and with other other discussion about educational technology. Okay, see you in 10 minutes.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
I don't see Abuana.
We have to take a break, some 10 minutes break.
Okay, is there no other forum that we students can interact with each other?
I don't think.
Yes,
Come
it's
again.
true.
Yes. I mean, I said, is there no other platform that we can interact with each other to get to know each other? We are stuck here. We don't know each other. We don't know.
Yeah, that's a nice idea. I think.
Very nice idea. And I think we have to create a platform so that all be on board.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, because people, I'm just seeing people's pictures and names. I don't know who they are, how they look like, and all that.
I think WhatsApp platform will be okay.
Yes.
We all look like human beings. We all look like human beings. You don't know how we look like. We all look
That's
at me,
already taken
Ibrahim,
for
in my
granted.
office.
Is that
in my office,
mind?
Ibrahim.
Just create the platform so that we add all our names.
So that when I come to Accra and I meet you on the road, I can say, okay, I once attended a class with you and all that, you know.
So, which part of Nigeria are you?
I'm in Lagos.
Sorry, which part
Okay,
of
this is
Nigeria?
Philomena.
Lagos. Then you are enjoying. You are chopping big money. Oh.
Is that so?
You are chopping big money in Lagos. Then.
No, don't be deceived by appearance.
Just create a platform. Create a platform.
Take that platform.
So where is your colleague? Where is your colleague?
Sorry?
Where is your colleague?
They've all run away. Oh, they're trying to save data.
Interesting.
What is the name? Oh, he like contributing. I've forgotten his name.
Abiola.
Oh,
Abiola.
Okay, I didn't
yes.
around today. He's not around today.
It's not around. Okay, then you get a recorded version so that you go through.
ID. Allow Tefe to create the platform. Allow him to create the platform.
I don't. Which platform?
We wanted a platform.
Okay, that would be a better option actually. Elizabeth, good evening. How are you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
Not bad. Are you driving?
Yes.
Oh, interesting. We are working from home.
Oh, it's never true.
As you can see, I'm in my room.
I'm sure you are creating the platform.
Well, you know, I don't have people's phone number, so what I have is WhatsApp. What I have is email address. So that's
so what do you? So let's say our now on the text listing. Oh.
Well, you know, I'm just a floor member like you. So when the macaroni or what's his name?
We have dedicated you to do that.
No. In fact, Isaac, you have been a very good spokesperson of the group. So we delegate you unanimously. We put you as the chairman of the group. And Kofi Akoko.
Hello.
Please. Good evening.
Evening, sir.
So you be the secretary. So Isaac is the president. You be the secretary. And Philomena will be the gen sec.
No.
Why are you running away? Where's Mabel? Where is Rita and Mabel? Yes.
So, I wanted to say something in Tree, but it's rather for you don't understand any Ghanaian language.
Well, I try to, but I have Ghanaian friends actually.
They are better mechanic say Berman or a presentation oh Radinya.
Please, can you translate?
No, this one for this one there. No translation.
Hey!
Ibrahim. Yes.
Ibrahim, please keep quiet.
Hey, you are commanding me. This is the class.
How do you say good evening?
Good evening, Maju. You say Maju.
Ibrahim.
Maju, yes, dear.
Interesting.
Now, Lizzie, what you saying?
I after the class, how are you?
Yeah, I see.
Elizabeth, you are saying something.
I was talking to Ibrahim. I said after the class, I'll call him.
Okay. I would like to learn your language.
I'll teach you.
Which of the language?
Thank you very much. Philomena, say something.
What's he have to say? I said, hey, yeah.
I didn't even know what to say.
Filippo,
translating. So some of us can catch up.
Filippo,
what if she's saying exercise, then you respond a yeah. Meaning what you saying, how are you? Then you say, I'm fine, means a yeah. So what exercise a yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
I'm here.
Hey, Filippo, mouse on camera. Who are you? Oh, Filippo is dying. Filippo is dying. There.
Oh, I'm doing great.
We thank God. Where is senior house master?
Oh, Mr. Jonah is around. He's also there.
Mihunache. It's been a long time.
He did it.
Papa want to learn tree. Let's teach him tree.
So, do you know how to prepare Nigeria jollof?
Ah, yes.
Okay.
Well.
Okay.
I can prepare it. But the thing is that, will you be able to finish it?
The jollof.
Can you finish it when I finish
Nigeria jollof, no sweet than Ghana one. Ghana one is palatable, very delicious.
Have you tasted our own?
Oh, your own dawa. Dawa did the plenty.
Inside. You have so many condiments. Meat or fish or crayfish or everything inside. So are you all working in the same place or in different places?
Philomena will answer this. Ask Philomena. She will answer this one.
He's been very quiet. He's been quiet. I don't know why. She's just smiling. Wait. She's talking though. We are talk.
I think different places.
Okay, different places. Interesting.
Yeah.
You guys are talking as if you know each other.
They are closer to the forest, whilst we are in the city. Just like when we are in Nigeria, we have the northern and the southern part.
Okay.
We are closer to the His Royal Majesty, the King of Ashanti. You know, but they are far away.
Hi guys. You are really funny.
Makuaba, Asemaba. Okay. Ghanaian language. Our teacher is in, so let's pay attention. Thank you. Welcome.
You are really funny. I like to see your face because you are always close. Now I see how is made your face. I'm really happy to see you.
Same here. Thank you very much.
Happy to see you too.
Same here. Oh, my bell is back.
Same here.
But are you from Ghana or Nigeria?
Sorry, who?
Mabel, Mr. Marco is asking whether you are from Ghana or Nigeria. Mabel, please answer him.
She's from Ghana.
I'm from Ghana.
Ghana, okay.
I'm from Ghana.
Okay, I'm really sorry because we cannot meet together, have dinner or eat something together. It could be really interesting to have easy chat. Okay. Okay, guys. I think it's better if we go on talking about the project work now, because it's really important. Okay, so In the next days, Benedetta will share with you the materials I will show you now. Okay. Okay. So now I will show which are the features of the documents I'll ask you to produce, but please don't be afraid, because I don't want you do something big, something I only want that you try to think about to try to put in practice what we are saying. And okay, as I already told you, you can do this work in group, or you can do it individually. Of course, if you do it individually, you can do little more little output. You can create maybe a little output, and if you are in group, maybe you can do something more elaborated. Okay, let's show the documents. Okay. Okay, so this is the document I will send you, and this is project work. So create a work delivery. The task, what I ask you is to create a work delivery for a long-term teaching activity, at least 3 or 2-hour lesson, involving the creation of a meaningful product. If you need information about what is a meaningful product, I remember you that we talked about it during the last lesson, which was the lesson number 4, and you have all the material, all the information on the slides. So specifically, I ask you to edit 2 or 3 products. The first is a presentation, so the slides, which can be developed using PowerPoint or Google Slides, or similar web app that you like. What you want doesn't okay, you can use what you want. In these slides, you have to put the following information. So the class characteristics. So you can describe the class you have, or you can invent a class if you are in a group, maybe. Or if you are in a group, you can choose the class of one of the member of the group and describe it. But the important is that I would like to understand which is the context you are referring when you design your teaching activity. So I would like to understand the student characteristic, the classroom climate, if there are maybe there are problems between the peers, between the students, if there are disabled guys, if there are students with learning disorders, etc. Okay, and of course, I would like to understand which kind of schools we are talking about. If we are in a vocational school, if we are in I would sorry, the curriculum. I would like to understand the curriculum of the students. All this information are needed. I need all this information to understand if you will choose the methodology you propose. Okay. The second thing I would like to see in your presentation is the inclusive strategies you think to use, because I was in the inside the possibilities of the methodological possibilities I presented you, that I think that the only thing you cannot avoid to use, so it is mandatory to remember, is the inclusive strategies. So it's important in the 2023 to remember that we have to include the most part of students as we can. Okay, so in this presentation, you have to explain me which inclusive strategy are you using or you think to use, of course, in your lesson. For example, if you use a particular kind of technologies in order to include the students, or which kind of teaching activities, okay? I remember you that you have a lot of information in the slides of the lesson. Okay, now the next thing is that I want to see that I would like to see in the slides are the disciplinary and soft skills that you intend to stimulate through the exercise. So the question of this point is which skills are we fostering through these teaching activities? Of course, there is a disciplinary skill, but maybe there are other skills. Maybe could be technological skills, or could be collaborational skills, or other soft skills which we can foster through our lesson activities. Okay. Another thing is to insert is the list of technology or the technology that you intend to use to foster learning activity, teaching activities, the specific teaching activities. This specific lesson. What I mean in this case, I mean that maybe you can choose to allow students to use a particular technology. In this case, it's better if you explain me which technology you intend to use and why you choose this technology. Of course, if you think it's not possible to you for the students to use technologies because there are infrastructural problems or there is not internet connection, or in case like this, please specify these limits and please search to explain me maybe other kind of strategies you think to use in order to propose a meaningful task, a meaningful learning activity. Okay, or maybe if you have only maybe a PC for you, explain me why, how do you use it in order to foster the learning of students. Okay, which application, which software, which educational technology. Okay, the second, was the content for the presentation, for the slides. Please try to play with tools and because this is because now you can try to explore these kind of technologies. This was the first product. The second will be the second product I ask you is a document based on a template that I will show you later, and of course, which I will share with you. So create this document which you will give to the students in order to carry out the task. Okay, this document, the elaboration of this document is really, really important because because inside this document there are all the information which allow students to follow the to create the meaningful product and to do a meaningful task. Okay. Now, after and maybe also during the last lesson, I show you several examples of these products. Okay. Fine. Moreover, if you want, I propose you also an optional activity. This means that if you want maybe to try to propose a meaningful learning activity which adopt a flipped classroom approach, you can also create maybe a brief video, a brief educational content which you can use to stimulus the students to introduce the delivery. Okay. In this case, also, if you want and if you have the opportunity to use technology, etc. I show you. I show you the template you will use to create the second document. Okay, which will be the document you you give to the students with the information to carry out the task. This document is a simple table. So in the document project work I will show you, you can find the format with the information about how to insert in role. But of course, I will share you also the also the empty form. Okay, like this you see on your right. Okay, what you have to what do you have to insert in the format for students? Of course, you need to insert the title, and the title needs to have specific characteristics, because you have to choose a challenging title, preferably question that make the activity challenging for students. And it's important that the delivery should be clear, leaving no interpretative doubts about the delivery for students. Okay, the second row is, of course, the delivery. You have to clearly explain the expected product and the required work from the students. The following row is about the estimated time. So here you have to insert clearly, you have to clearly explain the expected time frame for the activity. Since one aspect to include in the evaluation is the ability to meet the time frame. Okay, so also this is very important. For example, you can insert that each group have to use a specific amount of minutes for the subtask, for specific subtasks. Okay, for example, 15 minutes of brainstorming about how to solve the problem. Following 10 minutes searching the possible solution on internet, etc., etc. Okay, the following point is the work mode. So you need to specify whether the task will be carried out individual or group mode. Okay, I suggest to propose group mode, but could be also individual. In the second case, so in the case of you decide for proposing group mode, specify the number of group members, okay, you intend to create, and the roles to be played by group members. Okay, so if you choose that in each group there will be a leader, for example, who is not mandatory to choose that there is a leader. Okay, I'm not a fan of the leader in general, but if you like, you can choose to that there is a leader, or maybe there is the student who are dedicated to search information, the other student who is dedicated to correct control the errors in the final product, etc., etc. Okay. Following point is the tools. So you need to specify what resources, what technological tools students can use and can use to accomplish the task. Okay. Sorry, I found an error. No, okay. Sorry, I correct the error before I send you. It's better. No, go on. Not okay. So we were at the tools line. So in the tools row, you have to insert what resources, what technological tools students can use to accomplish the task, as I already said. Okay, we already said this. So, for example, technologies, resources, it could be also specific internet sites, could be particularly professional instrument, as you prefer. The next is the activity phases row, in which you have where you have to insert the step should scan the activity to be performed completely achieve the task. So explain the main step through which to arrive the goal. Okay, as we said before, and specify the technological tools to be used. Also in this case, okay. In the last row, the self-evaluation row, is important you explain the assessment, which assessment should be shared with students. Sorry, sorry, I say it again. In the last row, you have to insert the checklist of points you use for the assessment, and these points need to be shared with the students because they can do a self-evaluation of their activity. Okay. We will talk more about evaluation in the next lesson, but so maybe now you are not understanding this, but the rest of the template is already ready to be used. Good. Of course, what I ask you is to insert information I showed you in this empty template. Remember, please, in every document you will produce, put your name and all the group member name if you are a group, if you work in a group. Okay, come back the moment. The important things to know. In each document, the name of the author, member of the group must be included. And when you are ready, when the products are ready, please send the 2 or 3 documents in the case you do the optional activity 3. Please send to my email the documents or the link for the documents. Okay, so in this way I can watch and give you a feedback about this. If you have questions while you are working on the project work, and I hope you will have questions, please use this form. Now I explain how works this form. When you want to ask me something about this project, you have to open this form, okay? And you need to insert your question here, okay? One time for day, I will read your question, and I will insert the question and the answers here, okay, here will appear the answer. So, for example, if tomorrow or if Friday or Saturday you are working on the project work and you have a question, you have to open the form and insert your question here and send it to me. The next day, okay, you have to open again the form and look at the bottom of the page if there is the answer. No, you will find the answer to your question, okay? For which regard the timing of the project work. I repeat, I don't want you do big things. I want easy and well done, easy, small and well done things. Okay, this is what I'm expecting from you. So don't use a lot of time. Don't spend a lot of time to do the project. Use the right time. Okay. But for which regard the delivery, you need to know that the final meeting where we will share your project work and during we will comment your works and you will present and comment your works and I will comment your works will be the 16, okay, because we made a change with Maria Grazia and I think sorry, I check a moment to be sure. Yes, will be our last meeting online will be the 16th. During the 16th November, you will present me your project work. So you will talk about every one person for group or each person individually. We work individually. Will talk me a little bit about his project work, and we will talk together about this. We will have 3 hours to do it, so all the time for questions, doubts, etc. Please remember to consider it like a totally formative experience. Okay. Okay. So if we do this the 16, please send me the works the day before, because I need to have a look on it before our meeting. So in the document you will find also the due date, say the timeline, okay, for the upload of the documents and the final sharing of all the things. Okay. So I think tomorrow you will have all the things you need to start the project work. I suggest you to begin if you have time with the project work, but the evaluation part, but maybe the evaluation part, for the evaluation part you need also the last lesson, but we will see with the last lesson today. So we have all your time, all the time you need, because I remember Today we have this is the fifth lesson. The sixth lesson is on Tuesday, and after you will have 6 days, 5 days to elaborate this little project work. Okay. Please remember, if you have questions after I will share with you the documents, please remember to ask me ask me for information using the form I will show you in the document that Benedetta will share with you, but you will find the same link also in the final slide that of the today lesson. As you see, I clicked on the final slide of today, and I opened the same form I showed you before. Okay. Okay. Before we have 20 minutes. If you have the first question about project work, we can already talk about it and insert this information and already insert the information in the form. So let's go with the first questions about the project work. I open. No. Please. You can also write you can also write a question in the chat if you want, if you have problem. Did you already do you need an environment would you like, so you have an environment where to manage your group work? No, but the project work. I'm okay. Please, Elia and Anthony, raise up the hand, please. Open the mic or write something in the chat. Anthony. Hi, Anthony. I don't hear you. There is something wrong with your earphone thing.
Hello.
Okay.
Yes, okay. So the project seems to be a very demanding one and with a lot of details. So, and I mean, the best thing to do is to work in groups because I'm not sure I want to advise anybody to do it
Anthony,
alone.
I show you an example. It looks really demanding, but is easier than you think. Now I show you a little example that is really I didn't want to show you today, but because I didn't translate it really well, but it's automatically translated. But it is to show you easily what I mean, okay? This is an easy activity. Compared to Euro is the title, for example. This is the description. You work in a money transfer agency. You order to change cash. You have to create spreadsheet with Excel that allows you to enter an amount in currency and information into equivalent currency. Okay. The delivery is to create this spreadsheet that allows you to enter an amount in currency, euros, and transform it into equivalent currency. Delivery, easy. This is the working mode. So search for exchange rate in internet, graphic preparation of Excel, preparing formula in Excel, and this is studying. Search for exchange rate in report terms on the spreadsheet. Find table which is clear about the rate means. The second, the 30 minutes prepare the layout of the spreadsheet by setting up the appropriate drop-down menus, and 1 hour 30 to enter appropriate formulas in the Excel. As you can see, is something really easy if you are a teacher of economics, for example, to imagine an activity like this. The point is to make this kind of activity something like meaningful, okay? And this is an example of self-assessment checklist. So one, we respect the deadline, we respect the role assigned, have the exchange rate been reported correctly or spreadsheet, etc. I will share you examples. You will see that if I will share you example, will be really easy. I don't want a big amount of words in the documents. Really, as you can see, the only maybe difficult thing is to try to imagine this kind of activities. But is one of the two documents I requested you, and is a really short document. Of course, if you want to do something more elaborated, you can do it, of course, but it's not mandatory. I repeat, I will share you also examples, and we will talk about the project work and about your doubts about project work also during our last lesson, because during our last lesson we will talk about evaluation, and we will explore several educational technology which allow us to do training, evaluation, and final assessment. But we will have also time to start to work on project work together. For example, we can use this time also to start together ideas for project work, to make a brainstorming together, so we can maybe start to interact and start to do this together. Okay, so please, I repeat, try to not be afraid. Not really difficult. You only need to have to declinate what you already do with your students, giving a meaningful declination to your activities. Okay. Any other question for the moment? Expect to receive the documents or tomorrow or on Thursday before the lesson. Okay. Any more question for tomorrow? It remains to one answer. Sorry, one question you sent me about the last lesson, after the last lesson, and this lesson. Sorry. Oof. And this question was if the social network can be considered like educational technologies. And also in this case, the answer is that if we use a technology for with educational aims, yes, we can consider it an educational technology, even if have not been created for educative attempts. In the case of social networks, of course, we can use it with educational intents. For example, I think about the Facebook group, the Facebook groups. I don't know if you know what I mean. There are also a lot of researches about this. There are a lot of researches about Facebook group in education, and they could be a good instrument. Or, for example, I know that, for example, at university, a lot of students uses WhatsApp to create groups and share information and notes about lectures, etc. But in this case, in the specific case of such networks, if there is not a moderator in the group, and if the group if there is not a moderator in this group, the risk is that this group could be a place where fake news about lectures, etc., can be uploaded, and can have a negative impact on the teaching activities. So, my opinion is that if we realize that students use these instruments without an official involvement of the teacher, is important to remember to them that you are not responsible for what for the information will appear in that groups, and the only right information about lesson, lecture, etc., are your information that you give, and not information that are present in these groups where you are not working. Okay. I think I talked a lot also today, but I'm really happy to hear also some experience, some of your experience, and some of your questions, and to see also cases before, during our break, because you are really nice people. Okay, thank you very much again. We will see you on Thursday with our last official lesson of modules. So have a nice evening, have a nice dinner, and see you next time. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
See
If
you.
there are any
Thank you.
questions,
Bye
please.
bye.
Bye-bye. Bye, Sim.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank
Bye-bye.
Thank
you. Bye.
you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Marco, bye.
Marco, bye
Bye.
bye.
Bye-bye.
Love
Bye-bye.
you.
Bye-bye.